Good morning to all. Myself Shreya, and let's talk about our new topic of the science, which is our environment. So firstly, what is environment? Of course, all the things around us is the environment, the plants, the trees, all of the things is our environment. And now in this we see all so many things around us, like the marker and the plants or the board or all around us. There are so many things. Some are living but some are non-living also. Like this board, the room, the house is non-living, but the trees, I, you, all are the living one. So let's talk about this. So here we know that what is a living thing and what is a non-living thing. Now these one has a special name. Now these are called biotic components. This biotic components is just a fancier name for the living thing. And also here you can see that in the living thing, biotic components. In the non-living thing, abiotic components, which is just the opposite of the biotic components. So this is the non-living thing is also called as the abiotic components. Abiotic components. Now, abiotic components and the biotic components. So let's study about these one by one. But first, you know that abiotic components and the biotic components come together to form our environment. And also, what does this abiotic components do for the biotic components? It does so many things. It provides energy, the water, the air. Now these all are the abiotic components. And we need air so much. Abiotic components are also so important. Like the water. We need water to survive and air to live. That means survive also. So this abiotic component is also so useful or important to us. Let's talk about firstly the biotic components over here. So firstly, what are the biotic components? The living things. And can you state some of them? Like the plants. The plants is a biotic component. Then the human beings or the animals, and also the animals included us also. You know that the human beings is also a type of an animal. And here are I written some of the biotic components. And also the viruses, the fungus that is around us. Yeah, they are called the microorganisms. Microorganism. So let's talk about these all one by one. First let's talk about the plants. You know what is a plant? And also the plant is called the producers and also the autotroph. Let me tell you. So if we are talking about the plants, plant is also known as the producer. Why is that? Let me tell you. Now, they are called producers because they are the one that produce food on their own. We can't produce any food. We can't make the carrot in the factories or something food in our own. So we can't make the food in our own. The plants can do that. They can make the food on their own. You know, the sun is the primary source of energy, and from the sun, we get the energy indirectly or not directly, because from the sun, the plants get the energy directly, and then we get the energy from the plants. Some get indirectly and some get directly. We will talk about that also. So firstly, the plants is called producers because they produce food on their own. And also, they are called the autotrophs. Why is that? Let me tell you the meaning of the autotrophs first. So, we are talking about the autotrophs. Firstly, this word trophs over here means autotrophs here. So first, the autotrophs means the food, and auto means self. So these words come to be as self-food. The plants make their own food, or they make their self-food. They are called the autotrophs and also the producers. Now, how does they make food? Of course, the photosynthesis. We had talked about that in my second video. We had talked about the photosynthesis. If you want to watch that, the link is in the description. So, they make their food by the photosynthesis, by the process of photosynthesis. Let me tell you the photosynthesis in the brief, and you can also watch the video because the link is in the description. So, what is a photosynthesis? Photo means the light and synthesis means the putting together. Let me write down for you. So, here photo means light and synthesis means putting together. So what happens that a plant needs some raw material. Now what are the raw materials? The raw material is just the water and the carbon dioxide, and also most important, the sunlight or the energy that is come from the sun, of course. And let's talk about how does these raw materials enter in a plant. So the sunlight enters in a plant with the help of the chlorophyll. What you will say, what is that? So that is a type of a chemical or a green pigment in the leaf. This is the chlorophyll is present in the leaf, and that chlorophyll absorb the sunlight or soaks up the sunlight. Then what does happen? That the chlorophyll soaks the or absorb the sunlight. And then here about the water. So of course the water is taken from the roots, you know that. And about the carbon dioxide, what is it? The gas around us is just the carbon dioxide. There is a little amount of carbon dioxide in the air, and that gas is taken by the stomata. Now what is a stomata then? So the stomata is a tiny pores in the leaf. And by that stomata, all the carbon dioxide, not all the carbon dioxide is taken in or goes in to the plant by the help of the stomata. It is a little pores. Little pores, that is a type of little holes. And we can't see it because they are so tiny, we can't see it with our naked eyes. So I think that is clear to you. The sunlight enters into the plant with the help of the chlorophyll. The water goes into the plant with the help of the roots, and also the carbon dioxide enters in the plant with the help of the stomata. So then, what does the chlorophyll do? It mixes all, or it put together all the things and produces glucose and of course the oxygen also. Sorry, I am saying glucose, the food and the oxygen. And that food or the sugar is taken by the plant, and the sugar is stored in all the parts of the plant as food. And then the oxygen is then released from the stomata, the tiny pores, you remember, from which the carbon dioxide enter in the plant. So the oxygen released back to the atmosphere. Now I think that the photosynthesis is clear to you. And how does a plant make food? So let's talk about the animals. So firstly, animals is called consumers. Now you will ask why the animals are called the consumers. Now the animals are called consumers because they consume the food. Like the plant makes the food, they are called the producers, and like that similarly the animals are called consumers because they consume the food from the plants. And they could be the primary consumers and the secondary consumers. Let me write that. So they could be the primary one and the secondary also. Now, what is the primary one? So the primary consumers are just the herbivore. Now you will ask, what is a herbivore? Firstly, let me tell you the meaning of the herbivorous, then the carnivorous, and then the omnivorous, and also the scavengers. So firstly, let's talk about the herbivores. So what are they? They are the animals which feed on the plants, and they only eat the vegetarian food, the plants, and about the carnivorous, just opposite of the herbivores. Carnivorous. Carni here is derived from the word meat, and that's why the meat eating animals are called the carnivorous, and the herbivorous, the herb, the plants. Talking about the omnivorous, the animals which feed on both of them. It feeds on the plants and also the animals. Let's take some examples. So what could be the herbivorous? The cows and the monkeys And the elephants, giraffes, zebras, these all are the herbivores, the quiet ones. And about the carnivores, the tiger, the lion, and the cheetahs, the leopards, the crocodiles, these all are the carnivores, the meat-eating animals, the scary ones. Talking about the omnivores, us, we are the omnivores. Human beings are the omnivores. They eat plants and also the animals. And we, the rats, the cat, the dog, and also the owl are the, not the owl, sorry, they are the carnivores. Owl is a carnivorous. So all of these, like we or the human beings, the rats, then the cat, the dog, these all are the omnivores. Now you will ask, what is the scavengers? So the scavengers, the example of scavengers are the hyenas and the vultures also. Now what does they do? They eat the dead plants or the animal. What does I mean? Let me tell you. So the scavengers is the animals that feed on the dead matter, dead animal, dead and decaying animals. They don't hunt the animals. They eat they eat the dead ones. Like take that a lion has hunted a deer, and then that deer, the lion has eaten that deer that he want to eat, and now his stomach is now full. He can't eat more, and then he left that deer in the open space or in the forest and move away. And then what happens? That the vultures and the hyenas come and eat that. They eat the dead animals. Now, I think that these are clear to you. So, let me ask you one question over here. Firstly, we know that the herbivorous eats the plant. So, what will be it? What it will be? It will, the herbivorous, what it will be? A primary consumer or the secondary consumer? The primary consumer, the herbivorous, eats the plant first. So, the herbivorous is what? A primary consumer. Talking about the carnivorous. So what does the carnivorous do? They feed on the herbivorous animals. So, like take that the deer eats some grass or the plants, and then he got in the energy from the plants, and then the lion or the tiger had hunted that deer, and then the lion get that energy. Now he is getting the secondary. He is the secondary consumer. So here the secondary consumer will be the carnivorous animals. Now what about the omnivorous? Of course, they could be the primary one and the secondary one both. Now, here I should end here because I think that it is more than the 20 minutes. So let's stop here, and we will talk about this later in my next video. For now, thank you for watching this video, and if you want any improvement in me, so please comment in this comment box. And thank you for watching this video, and have a nice day ahead. Thank you.